Hey there, Mary Giuliani here again, trauma recovery and resilience coach. I'm here for the 12th reason people don't recognize their own or other people's childhood trauma. I've shared in 11 previous videos of the first 11. So this is the 12th and the final reason. And what it is that psychotherapists fail to recognize or inform their patients that they have complex PTSD. This is huge because, like I said in previous videos and in my book, I went to therapy off and on for many years. I got sober in 87, so for like 30 years I was in and out of therapy. And I also saw several psychiatrists, and not one of them ever acknowledged that I might be suffering from a post-traumatic stress disorder like complex PTSD. And if I had known, I would have dug right in. I totally immersed myself in things once I learned about them. I would have gotten the right treatments and the therapies to heal. I would have also been relieved of a huge amount of shame because, when you struggle with all of these things for as long as you do, it's hard not to feel like you're broken or there's something wrong with you. And, how lovable can you be with all these issues you have? And so, yes, so psychotherapists are tragically not trained about complex PTSD. And so when you don't get trained, you aren't able to, share that with your clients. And so many people are left to suffer for years like I was. And that was really the main driving force of me writing my book, is not knowing after 30 years of intense study on personal growth and healing my childhood wounds, that I never came across this as a core driver of why I struggled in the ways I did with food, drugs, and alcohol and relationships. And so even if you've been in therapy for years and your therapist has never brought this up, it doesn't mean you're not struggling with this. And so if you want to learn more about that, please pick up my book. It's not about food, drugs, or alcohol. It's about healing complex PTSD, coming out on Amazon on February 21st, 23. I'll leave a link in the video. So even if you didn't struggle with any kind of addiction, even if you're struggling with relationships or depression or anxiety, those are also symptoms of complex PTSD. So you can, I talk a lot about that in my book as well. So this is the 12th and final reason why people don't acknowledge their own or others' complex PTSD. And, when you look at all 12 reasons, it's a tragedy that, well, at least it explains why this diagnosis, complex PTSD, is not acknowledged. And when I really looked at all 12 of them, what I saw that they had in common was shame and ignorance. Shame is one of the most painful emotions there is. So whenever you are encountered with something that you feel shame about, it's kind of a knee-jerk reaction to sort of deny it or repress it. And then ignorance is just not knowing. And again, that's what the tragedy is about the mental health community and the medical community, not understanding the significance of complex PTSD, especially from a health standpoint, not just mental health. But the ACE study brought in so much evidence about the long-term health, negative health outcomes for those of us with high ACE scores. I talk a lot about that in my book. In fact, I dedicate a whole chapter to how my ACE score predicted my future. So the whole point of this series is to recognize that childhood trauma exists. We're not blaming parents. We're just trying to understand what it is so we can heal and prevent the trauma cycle from continuing, because the saying hurt people is true, but also healed people heal people. And so my goal is to be a healed person that helps other people heal and help those people become healers as well. So please pick up a copy of my book. I go into extensive detail on all aspects of childhood trauma. It's coming out on February 21st, 23 on Amazon.com in ebook and paperback. There'll be a link in this video. And thanks for watching my series. If you haven't checked out the other 11 versions of why people deny their own or other people's childhood trauma, go to my YouTube channel, Mary Giuliani, or my website, marygiuliani.net. And again, thanks for tuning in.